I want to show you a little bit of an advanced trick. I have not shown this trick to anyone. Absolutely no one has seen the trick that I'm about to show you. You probably have seen this kind of stuff. It's a very common pattern that they show where you're gonna have a lot of like yellow on the top part of the head. We're gonna have a lot of red on this part right here, and you're gonna have a lot of blue on this part. And it's a good way to add more complexity to the character. I'm gonna build a very quick gradient map here for my character. So I'm gonna start with black right there. Gonna group this, by the way, and then I'm gonna add a new layer. This is gonna be mid gray. I'm gonna add a black mask, and I'm gonna add a generator, a world position. Let's press letter C to see what this is doing. So this is world space normals. Do something like this. This one's a little bit too dark, so I'm gonna go right there, and then I'm gonna add a new layer. This is going to be a light layer. I'm going to add a black mask. I'm going to add a generator, and this is going to be a light generator. I'm going to hit these high points right there, and I'm going to play with the light attenuation so that we have a little bit more of this effect on the top part of the head and a little bit less of this effect on the bottom part of the head. I'm just creating volume right now. Light volume, medium volume, and dark volume. Create an anchor point right here on this like gradient maps. I'm going to turn on my skin back again. And on the material here, I'm going to create a new fill layer. The fill layer is going to be sampling that anchor point. So I'm going to bring this back right here. And then I'm going to transform this into the elements that I just mentioned, the blue, the red, and the yellow. So I'm going to right click. I'm going to add a filter, and I'm going to use a filter that only changes color. I'm going to use a gradient filter. And the gradient filter has 3 colors. So my blacks are going to be my blues. My grays are going to be my reds. And my whites are going to be my yellows. The cool thing about this, though, is that I can play with these guys right here, the sliders on this gradient map, to change where I want all of these things to do that. We're going to be using this with something like an overlay and then a very, very low amount of opacity to change the colors. Look at how much more color like interest and like saturation we're getting into this thing right here. We're using this to modify the underlying tones of the basic skin that we already painted. With this one right here, we're adding so much more juice to the whole thing. Not bad, right?